There was wailing in every house in Lanka. In Ravan's breast, grief, shame, and anger seethed like a raging sea. He had so far sent his commanders and men in detachments, and, brave as they were, they had been destroyed. This had been the result of overweening confidence in his invincibility and contempt for the enemy, most of whom fought with no better weapons than sticks and stones. But repeated reverses had brought him no wisdom. He had not even disputed the passage of the sea, but allowed the enemy a lodgment in his island. But negligent and reckless as a general, he was brave. And finally, he himself resolved to fight, and with his sole strength to destroy the foe, he set out. He had full faith in his prowess and in the efficacy of the boons he had secured. And he went forth with confidence, mounted on his divine chariot, which was drawn by 8 horses and filled with all manner of weapons, accompanied by a division of Rakshasa chariot warriors. As Ravan issued out of Lanka, the sun seemed obscured by an unpredicted eclipse, and foul birds and beasts of the night roared at large with weird, ill-omened cries. But disregarding them, Ravan drove out to battle, accompanied by Virupaksha, Mahodara, and Mahaparsva. The mighty Rakshasa warriors who followed Ravan were cut down by a deadly flight of arrows and chunks of rocks. Presently, Ravan found himself facing Lakshman, who tried to oppose his further progress. Forcing his way past Lakshman, Ravan confronted Ram. With all the pent-up fury of hatred and revenge, he strove to overwhelm Ram with a spate of arrows. Ram easily baffled these arrows with his own, and struck Ravan repeatedly, without, however, being able to penetrate his armor. Thus they fought, with supreme bowmen, each bent on slaying the other, and using increasingly potent missiles of secret power. The gods in heaven looked on with marvel and admiration. Neither hero had ever met such an opponent before, and on both sides admiration was mingled with wrath. Ram pierced with his darts every limb of Ravan, and yet he did not fall. Then Lakshman and Vibhishan together attacked Ravan. Furious with his brother and determined to kill him, Ravan flung at him a powerful weapon. But intercepted by a dart of Lakshman, it broke into 2 pieces and fell on the ground like a burning brand. Once again, Ravan aimed another mighty weapon against Vibhishan. This too Lakshman intercepted. Then Ravan hurled a weapon at Lakshman, crying, "Now you are dead!" Under its powerful impact, Lakshman fell down unconscious on the ground. Not observing this, Ram went on keeping up his pressure against Ravan. While the battle raged between the two, the Vanar leaders took counsel and then sent Hanuman once again to the Hill of Herbs to save the life of Lakshman. For the second time, Hanuman flew northwards and, not wasting time searching for the plants, returned with the whole mountain. After the herb was administered, Lakshman got well again and resumed his part in the battle. Meanwhile, Matali brought his master Indra's chariot to the battlefield for the use of Ram and said, "Indra, king of gods, has sent this for your use. Be pleased to ascend this chariot and destroy Ravan, the enemy of the gods." Ram bowed to the gods, circumambulated the divine chariot, and ascended it. Then followed a wonderful battle, Ram becoming increasingly furious. Sorely wounded, Ravan fell unconscious, and noting this, his charioteer quickly took him off the battlefield. When, a little later, Ravan recovered consciousness, He was highly angry with his charioteer for taking him off the battlefield and insisted on being taken back to face Ram. The grim battle began again. Every supernatural weapon was met by another. In new and wonderful ways, the two chariots moved, and the two warriors fought for a long time, while both armies watched the spectacle with breathless admiration and anxiety. Muntali, the charioteer, whispered into Ram's ear, "The Rakshasa's end is approaching. Delay no further. May I remind you of the Brahmastra weapon?" Ram uttered the spell and sent the Brahmastra, the most powerful of divine weapons. Though Ravan's 10 heads had often been cut off before, they had grown again and baffled Ram. The Brahmastra, emitting flames, zoomed towards Ravan and pierced his chest, where was enshrined the secret of his invincibility, and shattered it. Then the bow slipped from the Rakshasa's hand, and he fell down from the chariot and lay stretched on the battlefield. The gods blew their trumpets. Ram and his chariot were covered by a heap of flowers showered from the heavens. Lakshman, Vibhishan, Jambavan, and other warriors surrounded Ram, lost in joy and adoration. When the first flush of triumph was over and Vibhishan looked at his brother's body, the natural feeling of blood relations and memories of boyhood days when Ravan and he had loved and played quite overwhelmed him, and he burst into tears, saying, "O warrior, O brother of heroic deeds, O scholar learned in all the scriptures, O valiant and famous king of kings, your great arms are now sprawling helpless on the ground. Self-willed and self-deceived, surrounded by bad advisors, you would not heed my warning. The worst I feared has happened. You reap what you sowed, and now you lie on the bare ground, O once mighty ruler of the Rakshasas." To Vibhishan, thus lamenting, Ram spoke, "Ravan fought like a true warrior and fell fighting like a hero. Death has washed away his sins. It calls for no mourning. Ravan has entered heaven." Ram cleared all confusion from Vibhishan's mind and bade him do the funeral rites for his departed brother. "It is for you now, his brother, to do the rites. Death ends all enmity. I, his former foe, even I can rightly perform his funeral rites. Your brother is my brother too, is he not?" The women of Ravan's palace came to the field to mourn. They led the queen, Mandodari, who looked like the goddess of grief incarnate. The crowned queen and beloved wife of Ravan was in utter desolation. She cried out, "Indra, King of gods, dared not face your anger. The rishis and the celestials at the very sight of you fled in fear in all directions. And now a mere man, a wanderer in the forest, has brought you down. I do not understand how this could have happened. Truly, fate is all-powerful. But Lord, my Lord, did I not warn you long ago? Did I not tell you that this Ram is no mere human being, but someone greater than all the gods? Someone whom you could not vanquish? Did I not tell you? This Ram is no other than Lord Vishnu himself in human form. God, without beginning, middle, or end. Even when we heard that he stood on the ground riding no car and killed your brother Kar in Janastan, did I not say this? When Hanuman penetrated Lanka, the impenetrable fortress, and killed its best fighters and set it on fire, I knew the truth even then. I begged you not to incur their enmity, but you would not listen. Why did you cast lustful eyes on chaste Sita? This was the madness that drove you to your death. Was it not a heinous sin to carry her off when she was alone? Death in the form of Sita drew you to your end. Sita and Ram are now reunited and happy after their brief separation. But me and all our race, you have thrust forever into the depths of sorrow. Alas, my husband, you lie dead. Yet how beautiful you look with your body pierced by Ram's darts, covered with blood and dust of battle. Oh, what should I do now? I had a lord who was the lord of Lanka. I had a son who had vanquished Indra. They have left me, and I am a mere helpless widow, without friends or home. Lamenting thus, Mandodari fell on Ravan's body and lay unconscious.